Hi everybody. So we're going to answer another question here, and it's from an Angela. So hi Angela, if you're watching. And you know what? There are several of you who kind of have the same name. So whichever Angela, I think there's a couple Angelas that comment to me. So when I talk about the question here, you'll know which Angela you are. So hi Angela, well hi all Angelas, hi everybody, you know. So Angela requested or asked, I love your videos. Can you make one on how you freeze all of your fruit? And I most certainly can. If it helps you guys in any way, or if you just are curious. First of all, thank you guys so much for telling me how much you enjoy my videos, how much you enjoy my channel and everything. I don't make no money off of YouTube or Instagram or anything. I'm just doing it out of the love of my heart because I just want to share with you guys, and I just want to be a part of the health community, because that's all part of health too, you know, being part of a community, being social too. But in today's day and age with electronics and social media, define social, right? Alrighty guys, so I live up here in Fairbanks, Alaska, and I was born and raised up here, so Alaska and the cold is all I know. So when you talk about freezing your fruit, you know what, you can just stick your fruit or the foods that you want frozen, you can just stick them outside and for most of the year, because most of the year it's Arctic winter conditions. And it's real funny because a lot of the college students, when you go on the on campus, you'll see a lot of the college students at the dorm areas. A lot of them will have their grocery bags or food outside their window, because that's the freezer. That's the freezer. Outside is the freezer. But sometimes you kind of don't want to leave it out there for too long, because it can get freezer burned, because that's how cold it is up here. It's so cold that your food can get freezer burned within a day, actually, really. Besides the point, okay guys, besides the point, I just had to mention that, because that's the reality of Alaska. I mean, in Fairbanks, Alaska, I mean, I've lived up here my entire life. I know how the winters are. I know what 40 below, 50 below, and 60 below is, and when it goes on for long periods of time, holy mackerel. Okay guys, so how I freeze my fruit is, usually what I do is I usually try to get through my fruit in its most natural whole state, so I don't have to freeze it. I try not to eat too much frozen fruit, because I know that kind of brings the nutritional value down a little bit. But to the fruits that I can't get to in time, is what I do is I just chop them up and put them in containers and put them in the freezer. And I actually have to chop up some bananas here because I'm low on nanners in there, frozen nanners for my nanner ice cream, banana ice cream. All you raw foodies know about banana ice cream. Awesome, it's amazing, isn't it? Frozen bananas, that's genius. Whoever thought of that is absolutely genius. But you know, there's always those fruits, you know, that when you go to buy your fruit, it tends to, or you pick out, well, I know I do, I pick out the best ones possible that I can. I'm like, oh, I know this is going to be a good one and everything. But then you bring it home, and like the next day it turns moldy. You know, it's mold, that it's not fully ripened, that it's a moldy fruit. It starts smelling like mold and everything too. And it's like, oh my gosh. And then you go to cut it open, and half the fruit is moldy. It's like, what? I thought I picked out a good one here. What's the dealio? Well, that's a lot of you raw foodies, again, you guys know that that's the whole reality, and that's how it is when you eat real food. When you eat the food that we were designed and created to eat, that's what happens when you're eating real food, real good food that you were designed to eat. But again, this isn't a perfect world, so you're gonna come across fruits that are just go moldy before you even know it, you know. So what I like to do, you guys, is especially, I guess we'll do some nanners here though, but I need to do some nanners. I actually like letting my bananas go a little bit longer than this, let them ripen a little bit longer, but I need some ready in the meantime so I can have some banana ice cream here. So what I do, guys, is I save my fruit containers. Over the years, I go through so much that there's different sizes of plastic containers, you know, when you buy your produce, especially when you buy it in bulk also. Well, I know up here in Alaska, when I buy in bulk, which from Sam's Club, when we did have a Sam's Club, they would come in these really nice containers like this. So over the years, and then you know the veggie containers, you know, like even berry containers and veggie, your leafy green containers and stuff. And even like, see, I buy basil, but I save it and use it for other things. I mean, it's really hard for me to just throw it away or even recycle it, because I know I can reuse it. I know I can reuse it and recycle it, of course, but I know I can use it in my house for something, whether in the craft room or for storage and everything. So so I save the containers, and actually with my bananas, I'm going to use this container because this is really good for my bananas. But what I like I mentioned, you guys, is I like to chop them up, pre-chop them, and then so it's all ready. So when I go to cut it out of the container, it's easy. It's easy. I don't have to thaw it in hot water or anything, and it's super easy in the blender too for blending, and it's faster. And so that's what I do. But in here, guys, this is what I currently have in my refrigerator. So I didn't really get to my coconut water in time, so I do freeze the coconut water. But then when I'm ready to use it, I just let it thaw out and use what I need. But we'll just bring these out here. So this is my current frozen fruit stash. I always like to have frozen berries on hand, actually, because they're really good additions to smoothies and stuff. And also I really enjoy making, it's a berry jam smoothies. It's just dates and berries, coconut water, and it's kind of a twist off of Freely the Banana's Daterade. Oh my gosh, if you guys have never heard of Daterade before, you must try it. Freely the Banana Girl, she's the founder of Daterade, and that is just an awesome, it's just dates and water, or dates and coconut water with some vanilla bean. You can do all these different twists to it, and it's absolutely fabulous. And when you add berries to it, it turns it almost into a pie or a jam. So I'm sure quite a few of you out there probably have already experimented with that, but over the years, that's one thing I fully enjoy having, is a berry jam smoothie. Awesome. But I also have, these are mangoes, and then I have leftover persimmons, peaches, and nectarines. This is from last summer that I still haven't gotten to, but I mean, they're still good to add to the smoothies and stuff. And I use a little bit at a time, and I eventually use it up. But as you can see, I pre-chop them, pre-cut them and everything, and put it in there. This is my jackfruit. The last jackfruit I had was not good at all, so I couldn't return it. And so it's hard for me to just toss it or compost it or anything. So it just eats me alive inside, you guys. So I try to, I mean, the fruit is expensive up here, so I try to save what I can and use what I can. And so I'll freeze it and just add it to smoothies and eat it up that way. And then this is my banana container, but we're going to chop up some bananas right now. You know, I see a lot of raw foodies out there who like to freeze their bananas whole like this and don't even chop them up or anything, but they keep the skin on them or the peel on it. I go, why do people do that? And I'm sure it's like a nutritional type thing that they're getting at and everything. But for me, I just, you know what, I need to make it easier on myself. And so what I like to do is I just like to peel it beforehand here, and then chop them up into just thin pieces and fill the container. And then once it all freezes, like I mentioned before, it's super easy to get as the amount that you want out of the container, and then it's easier on the blender too. So this is exactly how I freeze my nanners, and especially for banana ice cream. guys, so that's how I freeze my fruit, or the fruit that I want to save, as much as I can. I'll stop babbling here. Hopefully this video helped you guys in some way. Maybe remember to love being raw. Put a big old smile on your face today. I hope I did that for you guys, and I'll see you guys next video, okay? Bye guys.